What happened at this Tom Brady event, this signing event that went awry?
Smells so good, I can almost taste it.
We've got some information, some different perspectives that we're going to share in this video, and why I think this could be a good thing for certain Tom Brady cards. I will explain. Stick around. What's going on, sports card hobby family? Another day. It is another sports card video. It's only Tuesday. Doesn't it feel like it's already been a long week? The NFL draft is coming up on Thursday. Will the next Tom Brady be drafted out of one of these 5 or 6 quarterbacks that could go in the first round? I am really pumped for Thursday night. I don't know about you all, but I am ready to go. Huge thanks to today's video sponsor, COMC.com, the growing 35 million card inventory, a treasure trove for collectors with a wide range of options to suit every taste and preference. It's a user-friendly COMC interface that allows you to filter and search for cards with ease, ensuring you find exactly what cards you're looking to add to your collection, whether it's hockey cards, marble cards, baseball cards, basketball, football, all the stuff. Check out my link below to start your COMC journey today. All right, guys, I remember seeing something online about this and thinking, man, that would be really cool to go to. It was a $3,600 conference ticket, VIP ticket, to go and hang out with the Tom Brady.
The range, like they're all buddies and their caddies are friends, and that's not the killer instinct. You know, I always said we play for the name on the front of our jersey, was it Patriots or the Bucks, and I play for the name on the back of the jersey, which is my family and the people that encourage them.
I think you've chosen your enemies wisely.
Man, I'm gonna play 10 more years. It takes so many people to get to where we get in our life.
And he's been making the rounds. He was at the Topps Rip Night that I was at going back, a few months now, in New York City. It was a good time, but I will add in my perspective from that Topps night and just kind of add into what we see here. So what this was is this was a business conference that was held 2 or 3 days over a weekend in Miami. And one thing that P. Ryan Collection had thrown out, he did a video on his Instagram because he was actually there. So I think that's an important perspective to get. Obviously a huge sports memorabilia collector, sports card collector, and P. Ryan, and he was at this event. So he got a front seat to all this mania, all this action. And so what he does explain, though, is for card collectors and memorabilia folks, this wasn't a sports collectibles opportunity. Overall, this was a business conference that had a bunch of different things. A sunset cruise, it had a exclusive tour of an art gallery, it included food, it included a bunch of different things. And then it also offered the autograph opportunity, the photo op, and then also Tom speaks for an hour or two, gives kind of a motivational talk as part of the business conference. So I want to make that clear because I thought that was important information to just kind of also take in, that it wasn't just a meet and greet Tom Brady event. There was a lot more going on, a dozen other speakers. And really, as P. Ryan explains, 95% of the conference went really well. It was just the autograph stuff that went sideways. So, the whole thing has been overshadowed by the autographs, but really it's, there was a lot more going on than just the autographs. And I've heard from people, they've reached out to me directly, some people that took part in this and were pretty upset about the autographs. I was looking at some of so they're on the collect.com article that was written. It shows a picture of a ball from Brady's first Super Bowl touchdown pass to Gronk. And it now has a signature. If I look at the typical Tom Brady auto, it almost looks like he just wrote Brady instead of adding in the T for Tom, and that's why people are upset. There's also a picture of a cleat, that was just kind of scribbled on. People saying like, man, this is not good enough for what we had paid. P. Ryan kind of makes the point of, hey, look, this wasn't meant to be a sports memorabilia conference. I will tell you, just from my experience with Tom Brady at that Rip Night, at that Topps Rip Night, he wasn't necessarily trying to sit around and sign a bunch of autographs. He did sign, if we go back, there's a picture, I pulled a picture off of John Basketball Card Guy's Instagram. His daughter, I believe, son or daughter, was able to get up to the front of the line and got a football signed, and it actually looks pretty good in comparison. It's got the T on the front, but also if you look at that, Tom's not taking a bunch of time to sign that. He wasn't sitting there and really taking time. It was kind of a mad scramble. He did it in a hurry. It does look better because it's got kind of that T on the front of it, but it's still not a mega clean autograph. It's just, put together very quickly. He was also holding a microphone and also signing it. But my point is that he's probably going to take more time on a Fanatics 1-of-1 or, his Tom Brady cards, than what happened here. But one thing that does show up in this article, and I guess this isn't necessarily from Tom Brady's mouth necessarily, but there is one line here in the article from collect.com that says a source close to Brady's camp says he was completely blindsided. This was supposed to be signatures for VIPs of the conference, not a signing for the biggest collectors. Now, let's go back again to Topps Rip Night. He was not all about hanging out with guys like me to sign stuff, or to hang out. He was really there to see young people, make sure they were having a good time. He did some trades with the youngsters. He was not there to hang out and talk to, big Tom Brady fans that were 40, and so I guess that's kind of the takeaway that I had. And then now it does say that in his contract, it was pre-approved for 8x10s and for his book, to be signed. He has the new TB12 book or whatever, TB12 method book.
But you don't eat bread.
And so those were kind of the pre-approved items that he had signed a contract for, according to collect.com. And so maybe he walks into a room and there's, there's all this amazing Tom Brady sports memorabilia. And he's like, what the heck is this? And let's also not kid ourselves too. I mean, there are going to be some big time Tom Brady collectors that are going to, hold on to this and treasure this. And then there's going to be probably a good amount, my guess, that are throwing this thing on PWCC or Golden or, REA or, one of these auction houses and looking to get that next huge sports memorabilia price. We are seeing more and more of this. We can't kid ourselves in thinking that there wasn't monetary gain, from some of these people that were going. Now, some people might have just bought the ticket solely to go and get that item signed by Tom Brady. And I guess that is kind of the point that maybe P. Ryan is bringing, is that it wasn't meant to be a sports memorabilia conference. Now, of course, where the big disconnect happens is there was, I guess, somebody on the outside that wasn't affiliated with the show that was essentially maybe marketing that there wasn't pre-approved items. So these people, it's not as if they saw that it was, hey, just the book and just the 8x10 or whatever. We're going to try to sneak in his first cleat that he ever wore playing football. I don't think that's what happened. I think people, they traveled down, they brought rare stuff because they were under the impression that there wasn't any sort of limitations. I don't think it was a bunch of people trying to sneak in all this really limited stuff. I don't think they would risk it. They obviously just didn't know, and that's where the huge disconnect happens, and now everyone's upset because Tom Brady did sign most of the stuff. He did not sign trading cards. I think I read in the article someone cracked a refractor, Bowman Chrome refractor, which is not a cheap card, cracked one out of a slab to have signed, and he wouldn't sign that. He did sign the other things, but you can see it's more of a scribble. It looks like he did the Brady without the T on the front of it, and he wasn't really careful with it, and people are upset by it. They're like, hey, you didn't give me a good signature. I'm kind of torn on this, though, again, to where it's like, but he still signed it. If there was still a witness there that he signed it, and maybe it's not the greatest signature, but he did still put a pen on that thing and signed it. I don't know. I guess it's just going to come down to each individual's perspective on it. I feel bad, though, for the people that did bring the rare stuff, because my assumption is they all thought that they could bring whatever. For the ones that thought that maybe they were sneaking something through, then I don't have a lot of sympathy. But for the ones that actually thought that, hey, I could get this signed, there's no limitations, because that's what the external kind of marketing person that was saying, that's a huge detail missed. And that causes problems, of course. But I guess how many people were there for the autograph stuff and how many people were there for the overall business conference? Maybe it's a small number. Maybe it was 50 people that were there with really rare stuff out of the 2,000. I guess the truth is probably somewhere in between. I can understand, I guess, people being upset on all sides. I can understand Tom Brady being irritated if he didn't sign up for that. And then also thinking, well, all these people are just going to send this off for auction and basically just kind of use this to make money off of. I think that he would probably be kind of irritated by it, but he probably just shouldn't have signed it at all. It's really kind of too bad all the way around. But one thing I do think will come of this is I don't think Tom Brady is going to be doing a lot of private signing type things. My guess is that moving forward, he's obviously got the agreement with Fanatics. I think that all of Tom Brady's autos going forward are going to be through Fanatics. I don't think he's going to play around with any of these types of things. And frankly, maybe he shouldn't if he's going to get upset about, collectors that are coming in with big items that they want signed. Because like I said, there's going to be some people that are going to shoot this off and try to get $1 million at auction. And then there's going to be a lot of people that are just like, man, I got this really cool item and that they want to hold on to it. They're huge Tom Brady fans. I saw there was some, people flying down from Massachusetts. I know that not everyone is there to just like make a quick buck. I know that there's a lot of huge Brady fans. And so the whole thing is really unfortunate because there's going to be longtime fans that just think he's a jerk now. And then he's upset because he's like, people took advantage of this. So it's too bad on all fronts. As far as Tom Brady cards, I know I have Tom Brady cards. I don't think it has any sort of effect on my Tom Brady cards because I don't have any autographs. But like I said, I think that, autograph cards for Tom Brady, just maybe, I'm speculating here, are going to get more scarce because he's just not going to do that much of it because he's not going to want to bother with any sort of private signing. I just don't see it happening that much anyway moving forward unless Michael Rubin is there with him orchestrating it. All right, friends, that's all I've got. Stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.